Hey, this is a quad XP farm, and we're starting off dead so that our levels are clear here, and it's going to be a bit of a longer video compared to my other videos because it's a pretty big build, and I don't have good editing software, so I'm going to try and do it all in one take. So we'll start with a respawn. This puts us inside the farm, and we'll do a tour of the surroundings here, and then go outside and show you the guts. This is how you get in. This is my nether porter, which I've done a video on, and I'll put a link to this in the description. Oh, we should also grab our stuff. Always good to have something here for when you die. Yeah, I've got a video on this already, but quick refresh on it is it's a teleporter. So this takes you to your other station. It's an ender porter that works in the nether. You just have to reload it by throwing a pearl back through the portal each time, and then if we hit this button again, we'll go back to the blaze farm, and we reload it again, and here we are back at the blaze farm again. And the farm has an on-off switch. This turns on the twin blaze farm, and this turns on the twin wither skeleton farm. That's why I call it a quad XP farm. There's a twin blaze farm above us, twin blaze spawners, and then out off in the distance there are two triple-decker wither skeleton platforms. And then as long as you're standing here near the enchanting table, you've got your twin blaze farms active up there, refilling the farm portion of it, which is what you see over there. That's one of 3 pods surrounding this room. Each one holds a little over 20 blaze. 20 because mob cramming kicks in a little bit after 20, 25 I think. So as soon as there's 20 blaze inside here, a crammer will suffocate them down to 1 heart, and it'll begin filling this one up. And then once that one's full, it'll begin filling this one up. And all the while that that's running, a wither skeleton farm on 2 triple-decker platforms is funneling a bunch of withers over to just above the roof here, where trained wolves are killing them, and that's what you're seeing here in the form of these XP drops. So even while those are filling up, and in addition to all of the XP that you get from those, there's extra XP just dropping into the middle of the room here while you work on your enchantments and whatnot. Only other thing in this room is the mass storage transit. If you need, so the downside to traveling via nether porter is you can't take anything more than you can carry with you. So if you need to take more than you can carry with you, then you've got this system over here, which I'll do a video on later. You'll have to stay tuned for that. But you can load these up, drop them down, load that one up, drop it down, and then when you hit this button and jump in this, when hitting this button makes this pop down for a moment, jump in the minecart, and all 3 of you, both chest carts and you and the minecart, will go to the next area in the nether. If you change your mind, you can bring these back up. And then there's a station just like this on the receiving end. You wind up landing right here, and then you hop out, and your chests pop up for you to pull your belongings out and go on your way. Alright, so we have one of these full now, and that one is filling up. And we'll go ahead and harvest these guys. And that'll start filling up again now. It takes 5 minutes for all 3 to fill up, which is the cooldown conveniently on XP orbs. So if you're standing here for 5 minutes and you turn around and all 3 of these pods are active, then you know you should probably collect these XP orbs before they start expiring. 5 minutes gets you to level 30, 31, 32, kind of depends. Round about level 30. There's also a backup switch here, so when we turn this off, let's turn the blaze farm off. Now that it's off, we won't get any more blaze in here, but you don't want these blaze stuck in here because they tie up the mob cap, which reduces the effectiveness of the wither skeleton farm. So we've got an override switch here hidden in the wall that suffocates them ahead of schedule. And we can clear them out, and this'll speed up the Wither Skeleton farm if you just want to AFK that. You can't AFK Blaze, unfortunately. You have to kill him with your sword. So if you want to AFK the Wither Skeleton farm, then you turn off the Blaze farm, as we have here, and then you won't have your rates on the Wither Skeleton farm killed. Oop, got one still over there. There we go. Alright. We'll go look at the guts. Watch for another video on this as well. This is where all the storage goes. I hate the way chests look in the Nether. They don't fit color palette, so I pretty exclusively use shulker boxes, but they don't hold much. So these are special shulker boxes that overflow without wrecking the system. They overflow into a bulk storage system, each one of these, except for this guy. I don't think he'll ever fill up, but yeah, this refills once you take anything out of it, and then if you want to put it back in, you just run back over here and throw it. We've got a couple blaze rods to put in there too. Anything you throw in the middle here gets taken and sorted into the storage over here. Alright, we will kick into creative now and go take a look at how this works. Turn the blaze farm back on, and we'll take our service door here to get outside. This is a staircase that comes out of the ground, and we'll start with the blaze farm. Like I said, twin blaze spawners, and when a blaze falls, they slide, they're pushed over here by the lava until they hit a tripwire that activates a piece of redstone, or a redstone block, that activates an OR gate, so that if either of these are active, a clock starts running that kicks out minecarts and picks them up. And so this is only running when there are blazes to be picked up. So if you're out of the area, you have to be pretty close to these for them to be active. So if you're not near them, then the clock deactivates because there's no blaze hitting the tripwire. Either side being active will turn the clock on. And then once all three of those chambers are down there, so you have 60... apparently I have to wall this in. Once you have 60 blaze in those chambers, an override switch turns on and this clock stops running. We've got one piece of redstone dust in here cycling around, and that's our clock on the minecarts. And then each blaze is taken to a chamber with a pressure plate under it in subtract mode, and just the right amount of redstone signal is going in the side there to detect 22. It's roughly 22 blaze. And then once that happens, the crusher is activated, and the detector, or the activator rail, is deactivated, which you can see there, that one's full, so the blaze are moved on to the next chamber, and then once that's full, they'll move on to yet another chamber. Alright, so I'm going to turn off the blaze farm now, and we'll go look more closely at the Wither Skeleton farm. I want this off because I'm starting to get a little bit of lag. My computer can't quite take recording and this farm. If I'm not recording, it's fine. It's actually not a ton of lag to it, but there's a lot of entities running. The Wither Skeleton farm has a feature, those pumpkins that you might have seen over the storage unit. There are jack-o'-lanterns being added to the Wither Skeletons as they spawn to take them out of mob cap. That increases the rates, but downside is you have a lot more mobs being processed, a lot more entities being processed. So this is the Wither Skeleton portion, a triple-decker platform there, and a triple-decker platform there, and you could conceivably put more in. You could put a lot of these in, really. I think you would only be limited by the ratio of withers that cannot wear pumpkins. See, they all can't wear pumpkins. So these ones that can't wear pumpkins stay in your mob cap. So there'd be a point of diminishing returns, I think, where so many non-pumpkin wearing withers are in your world that you just can't spawn anymore. But the locomotion here is just taking advantage of the mob AI. We've got these customer service agents scattered throughout the map, and they want to talk to customer service. So mob spawns here, goes to customer service, and they are duped. They fall down here. There's a customer service agent over there, so they go to head over there, and they step on this pressure plate, which activates the dispenser there, which is full of pumpkins. And that's how they get the pumpkin on their head. I don't actually want a pumpkin on my head, so we'll try and go over it. And then same thing happens here. They fall. They try to get to the next customer service agent. And they fall, and so on. Only downside to this method of moving them around is you can't make them. I can't figure out how to make them gain altitude while still tracking the various customer service agents. I can only get them to go in a straight line. If I put the customer service agents up too high, there's no way to get them to stop tracking the customer service agent to move on to the next customer service agent, other than making them fall, which, it's 2 steps forward, 2 steps back. Any rise that you get out of them is lost by the fall back down. So I can get them to move down, obviously, by falling, and straight across by chasing these customer service agents, but I can't gain altitude. So the way we do that, and we need to gain altitude if we want them to be high enough to fall down into our farm in a way that looks cool. So the way we do that is send them through a portal. And in the overworld, we have a water elevator that they immediately hit. They come up here, move over, and fall down the exact distance necessary to put them at 1 heart. And then these cobwebs prevent them from going through the portal too soon. When mobs come through the portal, they have a cooldown that prevents them from going back through a portal immediately after. So if it weren't for these cobwebs, they would pile up in this portal and never go through because their cooldown hasn't been met. So these cobwebs keep them in the overworld just long enough that their cooldown is reached, and then they get put back into the nether. But the next portal is up higher, and portals for the most part ignore the Y value, so we can put this guy higher up, and as long as the X and Z chords are synced, they come through. There does seem to be a limit to this. If I go any higher than this, for whatever reason, the syncing breaks. I don't totally understand that yet, but these guys are now down to 1 heart. Well, we wasted a pumpkin. Should have killed one without a pumpkin. But yeah, they're down to 1 heart now, and they continue chasing these customer service agents. And then the final step is to be compressed into a single file. These pistons are only here because they tend to bottleneck. So they get compressed into a single file, fall down here, land on a cobweb, and then they are slowly lowered down to these wolves, which are trained so that I get the XP for the deaths. And then we'll go to spectator mode here and take a look at the piston work. We've got a piston pushing XP orbs and drops off of this center part. And then down here, same thing. Anything that falls gets compressed down into this single square and dropped onto hoppers. And this is 100% lossless. There are no XP orbs and no drops left lingering. You can see we've got trapdoors not just holding up the wolves and minecarts, but next to them and above them. And this ensures that XP orbs and drops don't get stuck on the top of the trapdoor that holds the wolf up. A lot of the systems I've seen have this problem. I don't know why people don't just add trapdoors all the way up, but this makes it 100% lossless. Every single XP orb and every single drop makes it down here, and then eventually down here. So that's it. That's the whole thing. I think that covers it. Yeah, alright. One take, mission accomplished. I will put a world download in the description, and watch for a yet to come video on this guy here and this guy here, and we will close our maintenance door here now that we're back inside. And that's it. Hope you enjoy, and if you have any questions, hit me up in the comments. I try to answer those. Have a good day.